All right, we have to do the show now. As per the rules of the lease agreement,
The Kyoto Accord.
as per the Kyoto
The
Accord,
written side contract of the Kyoto Accord.
the clause inside the addendum
The addendum.
underneath the amendment. What's your favorite amendment? Go. Better question. What's your least favorite, and why is it the 13th?
The 13th?
Yeah.
It's in contention. What's the one where you're not allowed to bang your neighbor's wife?
That's. I'll tell you my least favorite. I think it's the third or fourth. Because number 1, free speech. Number 2, guns.
Yeah.
3 and 4, questionable. 5 is...
2 is not guns. It's bare arms. You get to have
You get to have
arms.
bare arms.
Arms of a bear.
Yes. That's a good one. We can all agree the Second Amendment, best amendment. 5th is plead the 5th.
Yes.
So either the 3rd or the 4th, I'm leaning towards 3rd, but don't quote me on that,
Okay.
is the one where you don't have to let soldiers stay in your house.
What?
Yeah. They had to make an amendment because soldiers were going to people's houses and saying, you have to let us stay here. So they made an amendment to the Constitution saying that you don't have to let them. I'm not joking.
Either side?
One of the...
Like any side of a soul, like...
American.
Oh, okay.
I think enemies, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Sure.
Luckily, there hasn't been an invasion in a while.
We're just waiting for the next one.
I mean, if we kept doing the pay-per-views, we could do WWF Invasion July 2001.
No thanks. I don't think it's really a good pay-per-view.
I think it is.
I think it's got a couple good things and a couple bad things.
For how terrible they did the invasion, that pay-per-view did crazy ass numbers. If they had booked it well, it would have done 8 billion it would have been the
8 billion.
You heard me. It would have been the highest.
They are getting 500 million viewers a week.
That's true. It would have been the highest rated pay-per-view of all time. Get out of here, Tyson Ali. Get out of here, Foreman McGregor. What's another good pay-per-view? Bruce Lee, Jet Li. You wouldn't pay to see that? That's a good fight.
All right, Christian and Edge versus Lance Storm, Mike Awesome. Good. Earl Hebner versus Nick
Good, but
Patrick.
I think there might be a fuck-up in that first tag match.
Yeah.
But it's good people. And then a referee match, probably not
Referee match, refereed by Mick Foley. APA versus Palumbo and O'Hare.
What are the APA doing?
Always pounding ass.
That's correct.
Billy Kidman, X-Pac.
Good.
Raven Regal.
Weird, but good.
Yeah. Canyon, Morris, and Stasiak versus Albert, Billy Gunn, and The Big Show.
Here's what happened in my brain when you said that. When you said Canyon, Morris, now, in hindsight, you're talking about Hugh Morris, another signee from WCW, along with Canyon and the other guys you
Correct.
mentioned, right? What went on up in this noggin...
Canyon as Mortis.
No, I know you said Morris, but I thought you meant that he had to change his name because he was both Canyon and Mortis in WCW, and to get their own branding on things, as WWE likes to do.
They want control.
They named him Canyon Morris.
Canyon Morris.
I'm like, I don't remember that.
What was that guy they had? Palmer Cannon? No.
Palmer Scott is the sit on you guy from Tim and Eric.
Yes.
It might have been Palmer Cannon.
Palmer Cannon, yeah.
I was thinking there was also Gunner Scott. There's a lot of guys.
Gunner Scott was Brent Albright.
A lot of guys with weapons in their
Kelly
names.
was really into.
Was he?
No.
He was a big Gunner Scott guy?
Yeah, he was. Brent Albright, because I think they brought him...
He was friends with Benoit.
They brought him in as Benoit's, young boy.
Yeah. And Benoit didn't like it, so he killed himself.
Yes, that was why he killed himself, because they put him with Gunner Scott.
I mean, if you were forced to team with Brent Albright, wouldn't you eventually kill your family and yourself?
For sure.
Double murder suey?
Gunner Scott is not even the best gunner that's been employed by WWE.
Yeah, the best ones now.
Yeah. Brent Albright.
Yeah.
Well, that was his Ring of Honor name.
And Brent Albright isn't even the best Albright.
No. Gary.
That one's real. That one's not sarcastic. Gary Albright is a million times better than Brent Albright. I don't know who's better between Brent Albright and Gunner / Jackson Riker.
Gunner Scott had, 24 matches from, oh my God.
Yeah, he did nothing.
From April till June 06.
That was his run?
That was his run. His first match was on a SmackDown in April.
Yeah.
He beat Booker T.
Okay, good start.
And
Booker T, who was about to win the world title.
Correct. But I guess him and Benoit were still feuding, maybe?
Maybe.
His televised matches are much less. And his non-velocity televised matches
are even less.
7.
7 SmackDown matches?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Booker.
I'm guessing 0 pay-per-views?
Booker, Finlay, Booker. Him and Benoit versus Finlay and Booker. Finlay and Regal versus him and Matt Hardy. Finlay and Mr. Kennedy. There's no pay-per-views. It's all SmackDowns and velocities.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was Benoit's second during the King Booker angle.
Yeah. Because did they redo
King Booker?
Did they redo the Benoit Booker Best of 7?
I don't think they redid it, but they definitely feuded.
Okay. Cena Booker did a Best of 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a match I need to see 7 times.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely need a guy who's not good at wrestling.
Don't talk about Booker that way.
I'm sorry. How dare I speak ill of Booker? The rest of that show.
How dare you speak ill of the Black?
The rest of Invasion is.
Oh yeah, there was more.
Tajiri Taz.
Good.
RVD Jeff Hardy. 4 stars.
Great.
Lita and Trish versus Stacy and Tori.
It is what
Bra
it is.
and panties. And the main event.
Yeah. Which I think is good. Is there a rating on it?
I think it's 3.5.
That's about right.
I think it's decent, but I don't think it's amazing.
I think it's 3.5.
Booker, DDP, Rhino, and the Dudleys versus Jericho, Kane, Kurt, Austin, and Taker.
To their credit, at least the Alliance side in this 10-man is all guys who worked for WCW and ECW recently.
Yeah, it wasn't just turning Austin
by Survivor Series 4 months later. I think there's 2
Austin
actual
and Kurt, right?
WCW guys on the WCW team. It was very sad.
Mm-hmm. Austin and Kurt was a fake dissenter, right? He faked joining the Alliance, but then at Survivor Series, he turned face.
It's so bad.
And helped WWF win.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
What was it? It was Booker, Austin, Shane McMahon, Rob Van Dam, and Kurt Angle.
That sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
That's probably a decent call. If you called the whole Alliance side of Survivor Series 01, I'm impressed. Not positive I've ever watched it either.
Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Shane McMahon.
Wowzers.
And then WWF was The Rock, Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, Big Show.
Yeah.
And then, Kurt was a fake bad guy. He faked the team, and the person that got the win was, of course, The Rock.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Even though Kurt wrestled the whole match and eliminated Undertaker...
Yeah, fought the other guys the whole time.
And then got eliminated by The Rock.
But was actually on the side of the guys he was fighting.
Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
You are. I don't know.
Maybe. What do we got here?
Are you reading the rundown?
I'm reading the rundown. Eat my dick.
Okay.
Main event.
8 paragraphs.
Angle returned and hit Austin with a championship belt.
Yeah.
Rock from to rock bottom on Austin to win the match, forcing the Alliance to disband. After the match, Vince McMahon appeared on the entrance ramp and celebrated with The Rock. So yeah, Kurt did cost Austin the match.
And Vince was sort of a babyface?
Kinda. Well, I mean, WWF are the baby faces. Even if they have heels on the team,
you're
still watching WWF.
Badly done.
I mean, it's
so bad.
There's some arguments to be made towards it. Is one, it's not like any of the big name guys wanted to come.
Which is also their fault, though.
100%.
Throw a shitload. Like, the reason they didn't is because they could stay
Guaranteed
home
money.
and get paid.
Guaranteed money.
So pay them double what they would get to stay home, and they'll do it. They didn't wrestle because they're greedy.
It's also really bizarre.
Cater to the greed.
It's bizarre that he purchased WCW, but the contracts didn't come with WCW.
No.
They were with Turner.
Yes.
Which is kind of
Which
crazy.
is odd, yes.
Like, other words we would have had, like Hall, Nash,
Sting,
Goldberg, Steiner, Sting,
Flair,
Page at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been much better. But I don't blame any of those guys for not wanting to do it. You're gonna get out of your guarantee. Like, how much money was Nash fucking making?
A lot.
Like, millions.
Way too much.
And he didn't have to do anything.
Millions more than he deserved.
Well, he deserves nothing. But yeah, do you remember who won the last chance battle royal to get a job, keep his job, no matter what? If the WWF wins or ECW wins, and he gets to keep his job no matter who wins.
Canyon Morris.
It was not Canyon Morris.
Damn it.
It was a man who we've talked about on this podcast somewhat recently, who is R.I.P.
Oh. Crash Hall.
What if I use the term the Punisher?
Oh, Andrew Test Martin.
Andrew Test Martin. He won by last eliminating Billy Gunn.
Didn't he also have a singles match, though?
No, this is on Survivor Series.
Yeah, I thought Survivor Series was Test and Edge, unifying the US and the IC.
But then he was also in the Battle Royal. I think he might have like beat somebody up to take their spot, like Nunzio or something. Maybe not Nunzio, but someone. Like I'm pretty sure he beat up.
Yeah, because I distinctly remember battle of the 4-letter superstars to unify the mid-card titles.
Yeah. It doesn't say, but yeah, I think maybe he beat somebody up.
So he must have lost to Edge.
He lost to Edge, yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, I got no more titles.
No,
I'm done.
I better keep my job.
Yeah.
The rest of the Battle Royal it's bad.
You don't say.
Farouk and Bradshaw, Lance Storm, Billy Kidman, DDP, Albert Taz, Saturn Raven.
Who's Albert Taz?
Albert, Taz, Saturn Raven, Palumbo, Crash, Just Incredible, Sean Stasiak, Steven Richards, Tommy Dreamer, Hurricane, Spike Dudley, Hugh Morris, Chavo Guerrero, and Funaki. Not Kung Funaki.
No.
Just Funaki.
He hadn't learned it yet?
He hadn't. He had amnesia.
Oh.
And that was when he...
So hold on. So he knew it before.
Yes.
Got amnesia.
Yeah.
And then upon recovering from his amnesia was so excited that he remembered Kung Fu.
Yeah.
He changed his name to it?
Yes.
Okay.
He's also way older than I thought he was.
I bet he is 74.
So, done. Nailed it.
Yeah. He was born in the 1940s. He was born during... He's a Japanese boomer. He's a Japanese boomer. He was born in that big wave of fucking after they dropped the bomb. Because everyone's like, well, this isn't going to last, so we should probably get it done now. And then that was the last time anyone in Japan fucked.
Yeah.
There's no one... like
no one's making babies.
No one from Japan is younger than 60.
Correct.
That's when they stop fucking.
Well, drop a couple nukes on them, and it's going to fuck them up real bad.
Look, you get anime, and you get no fucking.
Yeah. I heard that as we record this, they I think announced today that
is this an exclusive?
The Olympics is going to open during a like national crisis alert in Japan.
Great. It's definitely good that they're doing it.
For sure. Why not? Why not have it in a country that is refusing to get vaccines?
It's okay. I got.
Here we go.
Fucking. By the way, have we mentioned that this is the worst year of our lives? And I'm Scott. Get me on Twitter at @NotScottHenson.
Why would we? Why would we say that that's the name of the podcast or who we are when we are 15 minutes into the podcast?
And that's Drew. You can get him on Twitter at @NotScottHenson. If you're not going to do it, I'm going to take both.
I think anybody that's following you has already followed you, and you're going to get no more followers.
You think I've peaked? Do you think
You've peaked.
I've plateaued?
You've plateaued, yeah. You're never getting another follower.
Damn. Well, it was a good run. I
It
got
was a good run.
more than I deserved.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can all agree on that.
You
at the
deserve
very
nothing.
least.
You deserve to get touched by a creepy old man when you were 10 years old.
10, a grade 5 touching, a
Yeah.
5th grade touching. Tales of a 5th grade molestation victim by Judy Blume.
By Judy Blume. Judy Blume, molesting kids since 19...
Or
whatever.
you could go the other way. Tales of a 5th grade rapist, and he's doing
molesting
it.
the adults?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a real orphan situation.
That story must exist, right? Where like the kid is molesting adults. That's got to be. If it's not, I'm copywriting it. Anyone listening to this, I've already mailed it to myself. You can't scoop me on it. It's official. It's notarized. I have all rights in perpetuity to any story concept involving a child molesting adults. Now, how does he do it? Is he really cute?
Is he really cute?
I'm trying to think of the process.
Well, let's see what it gives me. No, I don't want that way. I want the other way.
Drew just looked up the most child pornography I have ever seen on a screen at one time. And believe me, that covers some ground in itself. But that's a lot. That's aggressive, I would say.
There are some
I hope you're on incognito.
No.
I hope you're on incognito.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's when black guys do it. That's when black guys on the DL look up gay porn. They're on incognito.
Smart.
Smart.
Yeah. I mean, there's as a surprise to no one.
What's that?
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Well, there's nothing that immediately comes up. There's a lot of like teacher caught on video.
Well then, yeah. So I think we got something here.
There's sort of a video.
There's sort of a video.
But like, what are we talking? Like, not so romantic encounter.
Teacher having penetrative sex with 3rd grade student.
Oh no, it's not. It's this isn't even like an arresting thing. This is just like a video caught people having sex in a classroom.
Well, I think we can do something with this story. Don't you? Don't you think that's an untapped market?
Videos, gross. I don't want to see
of
that.
child-initiated molestation.
I mean, there's got to be like,
come on.
There's got to be a niche market for that, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Us. First of all,
I do enjoy looking up. What?
Huh? Is that what you enjoy looking up?
No.
Read the headline.
No, I can't.
Read it.
I can't.
Read the headline. Show it to me and I'll read it.
No, it's okay. I already passed it. Come on.
I saw a man accused of molesting 7-year-old girl. I can give you that much, listening audience.
No, sometimes these people and like the way that they try to justify themselves is like very, very funny.
She's gonna be 18 one day.
That is the perpetrator.
He looks like the perpetrator.
Apparently he was only 18.
Well, I mean, that's just babies having babies.
No,
babies touching babies.
No.
Babies having babies with other babies.
Oh, here's like just a giant list of
like top 25 hottest teacher sex offenders.
I wouldn't say hottest.
That's not that hot. I hope that's not on my top 25.
What was the funny?
Who's the number one?
Mary Kay
Letourneau. Yeah,
of course. Literally, like
number one with a bullet.
Got arrested,
Queen.
went to jail.
Yeah.
Had conjugal visits, like kind of illegally in the jail. Got pregnant again.
Yep.
Got out.
Married him.
Yep. Moved somewhere. Cheated on him with another minor. I think.
Okay, that is so bold.
I think
That's amazing.
And then got divorced, and I think
if the student she had 2 children with via molestation and eventually married, then cheated on him.
Oh, I forgot she fucking died last year.
She did die. She died from getting too much young dick. It's dangerous.
Okay, dropped out of high school and his mother was granted custody of their 2 kids. They sued the school district for emotional suffering, lost wages, and cost of rearing his 2 children.
Emphasis on rearing.
Correct. They claiming the department had failed to protect him. Following a 10-week trial, no damages were awarded. Released from prison and marriage. He filed for separation from her and then later withdrew it.
I realized he had a good thing.
He's working as a professional DJ.
Of course he is.
Then they got legally separated in August 2019. Said he was not a victim. He was unashamed of the relationship.
Yo, spinning on the 1s and 2s. DJ doesn't know he was a victim.
Oh, but then, so that was in 2019. In 2020, a close family friend said he sees things clearly now and realizes that this wasn't a healthy relationship from the start. No shit.
How long did it take him?
Till 2020.
And when was the incident?
98.
Okay, so a solid 20 years.
96.
Oh, 25 years.
She had colorectal cancer.
From getting bugged in the ass too much?
Getting too much of that Samoan D.
Samoan?
I think he's Samoan.
Really?
His last name is
Fualawa. Oh, it's pretty AAPI.
Yeah, I mean...
Interesting.
I mean, we could go on. We could make an entire podcast just about this.
AAPI, of course, being African American Pussy Inspectors. Can't help it sometimes. It's tough.
Oh, some of these things are making me very sad.
You should turn it off.
Very sad.
I forgot how words work. You should turn off that website. You should just turn it off. No, this isn't for you.
This is hurting me.
There, he turned it off.
No, I just moved.
Oh, no,
I want to do more off-air reading.
Moved the tab.
I want to do off-air reading.
Where was I? Oh, yes. This past Sunday on stream.
Brag.
Big brag.
I do streaming.
Twitch.tv/AdamPlays, ADUMPLAZE. Every Sunday for way too long. So, yeah, the Olympics came up, and how stupid an idea it is that it's happening. And, like, everyone was on board on that. And I was like, yeah, it's strange that Japan is weirdly anti-vax, because you wouldn't expect it, because they're otherwise so science-minded. And man, did Adam fucking drag me over the coals for that. He's like, why do you say that? I'm like, because it's such a technology-based society. And he's like
science and medical, like...
Well, yeah, and he's like, well, are they? I'm like, yeah, they are. And I'm like, I mean, look at their electronics. Look at their electronics. And he's like, well, just a couple electronic companies doesn't mean that the society as a whole is like that. I'm like, I'm trying to articulate it, and he's like not having it. And I'm like, look, motherfucker, congratulations, you've backed me into the corner I didn't want to go of saying Asians are great at math. Okay, congratulations, you got me. I was trying to say it without saying it, but you're not letting me get away with it. So here, I don't understand how you can be so good at math and be anti-vax. That doesn't add up to me. There's a disconnect.
No, yeah, absolutely. But it's like a weird. It's some. I don't remember exactly what.
The vaccines are full of ghosts.
No, it's like it has something to do with just like their herbalist, like Eastern medicine, like not trusting things from the West type mentality. So
it's part of their racism, and I respect. Otherwise, I really respect Japan's racism. It's great.
I absolutely respect their racism. Like, there's very few people in the world that are more racist than white people, and Japan's close.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to dispute you on that.
Okay.
Here's a sentence I say that confuses people until you think about it, but
Okay.
I legitimately believe it's true.
White power.
And you, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. What did I say earlier? Oh yeah, all the too much. It was in relation to the fact that someone had thrown white paint on the rainbow crosswalk, not what, 2 blocks from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was in character as the guy who did it, because I definitely wasn't the actual guy who did it. And
you don't have an alibi. That's
saying,
for sure.
well, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. Yeah, and I was saying that he was saying that all of this gay pride. What about white pride? That's why he threw the white paint, which is interesting because in a different suburb, an old man threw black paint on a rainbow crosswalk. So I wonder if he wanted more black pride and less gay pride.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
you make a good argument.
What do you think about that? So what was I saying right before
about disputing me saying white people are the most
Yes. So here's a statement, and you can interchange America for white people. I usually say it about America.
Gotcha.
But it makes the same holds true for white people. America is an extremely racist country. It's also
no matter what the race. Is that what you're saying?
It's a racist country.
It's a racist country.
But you could also you can say white people are extremely racist. Same thing. Okay. Like white America is extremely racist. Let's say that.
Gotcha.
It's also one of the least racist countries in the world. Because everyone else, not everyone else, but a lot are even more racist. Japan is more racist. Africa is more racist. Lots of Europe is more racist. It's just we're close to it, and we say, and yes, America is very racist. White people are very racist, but other ones that we have less exposure to are even more. Like not a lot of people in America get murdered for being a different race. A few do, but not a lot. And other places, it's a lot more.
America has been a long time since they've done an ethnic cleansing.
Yes.
Whereas
I think they're due. Who should we do?
What day is it? Wednesday? So like Serbia did one yesterday?
Yeah. Like there's one in ex-Yugoslavia weekly.
Yeah. Russia.
Which is funny because they're all the same.
I'm Catholic. I'm Protestant. Well, maybe not Protestant, but I'm
probably Muslim.
Yeah.
But
we live in countries that have borders and look exactly the same. But I believe in
also each country is like 8 square blocks.
Oh yeah, the
like
difference.
Original Yugoslavia is what 1/30th the size of our province of Canada.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe
1/30th.
I bet
1/20th, maybe.
Maybe a 20th.
Yeah, I think Yugoslavia is bigger than you think it is.
And then they split that into
like 7 countries.
Yeah, I think they are pushing 7 now. Because is Kosovo its own thing now?
I don't know if it's its own country yet.
I think it wants to be.
Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina,
Slovenia.
Montenegro,
Mount Black,
North Macedonia.
That's 7. Is that with Kosovo or without?
Without Kosovo.
I think there might be 8. I think Yugoslavia might be 8 fucking countries.
Maybe Kosovo.
Each just it's like each one has 2 streets.
Yeah, you know what? You might be right. It doesn't. It's maybe the same size as
Greater Vancouver. Like the Fraser Valley.
It is. Oh my God! It's only the size between Pittsburgh, Columbus, DC, and Raleigh.
So it's a bit of the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, a bit of the Mid-Atlantic. Yeah. So it is actually not that big.
Okay, so numbers wise, Yugoslavia, like whole Yugoslavia, is 255,000 square kilometers.
Yeah.
Area of British Columbia. nearly 1 million square kilometers. So yeah, it's small.
It's small.
It didn't need to get 8 times smaller.
And I'm sure by the time we're in our like 70s, if we live that long, which we won't, it'll be 12 countries, because there'll be ethnic Croatians.
Well, first of all,
that don't want to be part of Croatia.
First of all, there's no way Bosnia and Herzegovina are staying together. I think it's wild that it's already one.
Will there be a North Macedonia and a South North Macedonia?
There should be a South North Macedonia. I love it. Yes. Make it happen. I think that's also just Greece.
Not if you ask Greece.
No, I know.
Greece is very mad about it.
I love that they made them add the North.
We will not allow them into the European Union unless they add the word North to their name.
That's so funny.
Because some people that live in northern Greece refer to themselves as Macedonians.
Because the last cool thing that Greece did was Alexander the Great 2,400 years ago. And they're really holding on to it, and they do not want another country stealing valor from them.
Stolen Macedonian valor.
Yeah.
Hey, we invented having sex with little boys' thighs. How dare you claim that this is your name?
Socrates style. We've
100%
had the conversation.
100.
How bad must Socrates have been for them to kill him for it? When everyone was doing it.
They just needed an excuse.
Was he doing it worse? Or was he doing it...
What if he was so good at it that none of the other boys wanted to go with the other people?
What if God...
I want to go to Socrates' house. He makes me feel like a pretty lady.
What if God created... Could God, hypothetical here, it's a real Foucault's pendulum here. Could God create a boy so hot that even he couldn't fuck the boy's thighs? It makes you think.
It does. The answer is no. If God was real and God created things, God can do whatever the fuck he wants.
If God was real and he's not,
are you going to tell him no?
Then he could do it.
Are you going to tell him no?
I wouldn't dare.
Exactly.
I wouldn't dare tell her that. Oh. Did I just blow your mind?
She's a part of herstory?
She's part of herstory.
How come it's Manchester United, not Herchester United?
How come it's Manchester and not WOMXN Chester United? I don't know. That was some good riffs. Want to talk wrestling?
Sure.
Where are we at?
Are we good? We're at WWF In Your House 17, Ground Zero,
aka the end of easy watching pay-per-views.
Yeah, we didn't fast forward as much as we should.
We didn't. We
still fast forwarded a good amount.
Don't get us wrong. We did some. We're not gonna sit here and bullshit yet. But this is the beginning of the 3-hour era.
Someone gave this this thing on the side is how the rating that people gave it, right?
Those are ratings for the show.
Someone gave this show a 9.
Someone wrote a lot about this show.
Amico Leonard.
That's like 1,000 words.
Yeah, that is.
Which is like the biggest number.
But somebody gave it a 9.
Somebody gave the show a 9.
This show is absolutely not a 9.
The show's not a 9. Canadian Stampede is maybe pushing a 9, and it's probably the best In Your House ever.
Yeah.
This is not.
Absolutely not. We're from Louisville, Kentucky.
A sold-out 4,900 people. Not the biggest arena in the world.
Not the biggest. So they started off with highlights of SummerSlam, of... Summerfest. Super Brawl Saturday.
Oh, was that Jeremy Piven?
Yes. Yeah. Super Brawl Saturday.
Of course.
And it was the whole Brett tries to hit Taker with a chair. Sean takes the chair because Sean's a specialist referee. Sean takes the chair away. Brett spits in his face.
But let's not gloss over the spit.
Oh,
That was
not a work
great
spit at all.
Spit.
That was Brett legitimately hating Sean and getting the green light to spit in Sean's face.
even if you asked me to, I couldn't get a spit like that. Like, mine sprays. I can't get, like, a good...
A loogie?
Yeah.
Like hawking a loogie? Yeah, I can't either.
Because it was solid.
I mean, Brett probably built that up for,
I was going to say,
I'm
thinking he probably, like, wasn't even paying attention to his match with Undertaker.
Yeah.
He's just like, I gotta get this
just,
spit.
like, snorting and hawking, like...
Yeah, but... And
holding it under his tongue like a blade.
And same to Vince a few months later when he gets screwed. Another great spit there. Bret Hart, great spitter.
Brett's just a spitter.
Not a swallower.
Not a swallower. So yeah, he spits in Shawn's face, and Shawn goes to hit him with a chair and hits the Undertaker, and then very begrudgingly, while staring Bret in the face...
It's very funny.
Cast a count of 3 count.
He hates Bret.
In real life.
In real life and in storyline.
Yeah.
He does still, at the end of the day, count the 3 for Bret.
Yeah.
He could have, not counted 3.
Yeah, or he could have hit Bret with the chair and pulled Taker on top.
He had so many options.
Yeah. He didn't have to automatically count the pinfall for the thing he cheated on.
Yeah.
But I guess in his mind, he did.
At the end of the day, he was a professional. He's like, I made a mistake, but
noted professional.
But I noted professional, especially in 1997.
Yeah.
Big time professional, Shawn Michaels, a guy who, 5 months earlier, definitely didn't fake an injury, so he didn't have to lose to Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
It did get us a silly Sid title run for all of
It got us a silly Sid title run. It got us Sid shitting his pants at WrestleMania, which probably going with the odds. Brett or Shawn would not have shit their pants at WrestleMania in the title match. Yeah. So it has benefited us one extra WrestleMania main event pants shitting that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I guess it worked out for the best. It worked
out. So yeah, obviously it's the build up to next month's In Your House. Which is, of course, the first Hell in a Cell.
Bad Blood with
Bad Blood.
2 Ds in bad.
So after they show the highlights...
Why were there 2 Ds in bad?
Because it's cooler to have 2 Ds, just like it's cool to have a Z at the end of your name. Hardy
I mean,
boys,
I'm not arguing...
Boys, Edge and Christians.
I'm not arguing the Z thing. That's irrefutably cool.
Yeah. So after they show the highlights of that, they show a bunch of people after the show outside, and since it took place in New Jersey, you can imagine the amount of fat pigs that they were interviewing.
There's a bunch of Jersey rubes. It was great.
About Shawn doing it on purpose and being a scumbag and blah blah blah. So then we sort of get more video footage of Shawn, like, not taking responsibility and feuding with Taker, which leads to Taker taking so many unprotected chair shots.
Man.
It was like 4 or 5.
So Shawn blasts Taker in the head. Taker blades as he's falling down.
Yes, you can see his hand go up, and then he falls.
It was... a great blade.
It was a good job.
It was a great
very good blade.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Sits up, blood everywhere, and Shawn absolutely fucking cracks him again. No hand up, no nothing. Just chair to brain. Loved it.
Loved it. It was very good.
I miss it. I mean, everyone's like, oh, it causes concussions. Of course it causes concussions. Do it. Like, honestly, get concussions for my amusement. When I wrestle... I don't want to get concussions.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that you can't.
I have actively had, I think, 6 concussions.
That's solid numbers.
3 from wrestling, 2 from wrestling.
Oh, that's barely any.
1 from Nick Enzigering me in the back of the head.
Just a straight up kick.
And
like
1 from me rolling in the way of Kelly running the ropes.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
And then also trying to do the Ishii second rope stalling brainbuster, and then losing Goodwin, I guess.
Yeah.
And wanting to protect him more than hurting myself.
Yeah.
So I protected him and didn't protect my head and smacked my head.
Further
again.
hurt yourself.
But I mean, I took way after that, 2 years later, took a completely unprotected chair shot from Steve and didn't even feel it. So maybe it's not as bad as we think it is.
Or maybe your head's numb now.
You know what? If my head is numb, Scott, start swinging.
All right.
Let's test this out.
Happy to do it.
It's a real What's Milhouse's mom's new boyfriend? Blazer. Lazer's the one she dates, and Blazer's his partner that she cheats on him with. And then they have the American Gladiator fight in the front yard. Yeah, it's a real Laser letting him hit him with a chair, and then he goes home and hits Homer with it. Yeah. Hopefully I'm Laser and not Homer.
Yes.
Or is Laser and Blazer dodgeball? I don't know. Anyways.
Turbo?
Yeah, I don't know. Malibu? That's a real one. That's a real American Gladiators.
Is that a boy one?
That's a boy one named Malibu.
That should be a girl one.
I mean, yeah, but he was like long, luscious
although maybe
blonde hair.
It's true, and maybe it's just because we're talking about Simpsons and now I'm thinking about Malibu Stacy.
Ah, yeah. Definitely not Barbie.
No. And she's got a new hat.
Malibu. Where the fuck are you, Malibu? Oh, maybe he wasn't unoriginal.
Maybe it was just a hot guy you dreamed of.
No, it's a guy. Darren McBee.
Was he first on the list of gladiators?
He was.
Why?
Because he's...
What's it based on?
He's the first one, I guess... I don't know.
Oh, just like when they were introduced?
Maybe.
He was in the first wave?
Yeah. Is anybody in... Oh, there... Yeah, so blah, blah, blah. So he's only in season 1, and that's it.
Okay.
And then there's Lace, and there's Zap.
Okay, Lace is a girl.
Gemini, yeah.
Okay, good.
Gemini.
That's insane.
Nitro. Sunny, Blaze, Bronco, Gold, Laser.
Gold?
Yeah,
Gold?
Tanya Knight.
Gold sucks. Gold's a shit name.
Is she a wrestler? I feel like she's a wrestler. Oh, she's a bodybuilder.
For Gladiator.
What did I get? Gold, Laser, Jade, Titan, Diamond, Ice, Thunder, Turbo, Storm, Tower, Viper, Atlas, Cyclone.
Did anyone
Electra
get 2 words?
A second Lace.
Second Lace.
So
get out of town.
One Lace was in the first 3 seasons.
She died,
but was hurt for the majority of 91, 92. And second Lace appeared in 92, 93, only on 2 episodes.
The first Lace died, and they didn't tell anyone. They just replaced her.
Model. Yeah. Okay. Havoc, Saber, Siren, Sky, cool. Dallas, Hawk, Jazz, Rebel, and Tank. And I tricked my mom and sister into naming our cat Saber because my childhood friend across the street, Clark, named his cat Nitro after the Nitro Gladiator.
Sick.
So I tricked them into naming Saber because I'm like, he kind of looks like a saber-toothed tiger. And they were like, yeah. And I was like...
And also, I'm gay for muscle men.
No, he was like the big, mean black one.
Oh.
Like, he was bald head and just, like, very angry.
It's pretty woke of young Drew.
Hey, but he was pretty fun.
To name your kitty cat after a person of color.
And then I click on his name.
And it turns out he never existed.
And it takes me to... He played Jax in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Huh, good for him.
Interesting. Saber and Jax. Well, look at you.
He actually got metal arms for that role, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He had his old ones removed. Cool metal ones put on.
Apparently, they released an album of the soundtrack. But it's
American
just
Gladiators?
Queen, We Will Rock You.
Okay.
Our Boy Gary Glitter.
Yep.
The Movement Jump.
Never done anything bad.
Fabulous Thunderbirds Tough Enough. Pat Benatar, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Yellow, oh Yeah. And Scandal the Warrior.
I mean, those are good.
And then a bunch of just like made for the TV show, like
just a bunch
soundtrack stuff.
A bunch of synthesizer and lasers, I assume.
Yeah. And then they rebooted it in 2000, and then they rebooted it in 2008 with Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
And Layla Ali. And then...
Layla Ali. Oh!
That's it.
There was a Jeopardy question recently.
Oh.
Where the answer was Layla Ali. And it was very clear, like, the question for all intents and purposes was, who's Muhammad Ali's
What
daughter?
about intensive purposes?
Also intensive purposes. Yeah, it was who is Muhammad Ali's daughter. And the first... there were 2 wrong ones. Both were funny. But the first answer was definitely Tatiana Ali.
Okay, yeah. The right answer.
I was like, fuck yeah, Ashley Banks. Nailed it.
Okay, back to the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
So the first match was the indecent proposal match of Goldust, who they referred to as Dustin Runnels several times.
Getting real.
Versus Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
This had some very funny things in the build-up. It was Pillman claiming that Dustin's daughter was his love child with Marlena.
Yeah, and the daughter's 3 years old. So, like, this. It's not like... He's not saying, I just fucked your wife.
Yeah.
He's saying, I fucked your wife 4 years ago.
Before I was even in the company.
Yeah.
Before you were in the company.
I mean, I guess they were in WCW together.
That is true, but they don't know that. The
audience doesn't know that. He's like, I fucked Alexandra York.
Of the York
of the York Foundation.
York Foundation.
Yeah. And
with Richard Gibson.
Richard Gibson, you say?
Yeah.
Is that's the long name for 4 minutes of Heat member and guy we know, Ricky Gibson?
Yes.
I see. Good job.
You're welcome.
I should hit up Richard Gibson. I like him.
So the match is that if Goldust loses, Pillman
gets to rape Marlena for
30 days of her using her as a concubine.
Yeah.
And if Goldust wins, Pillman will quit WWF forever.
Yeah.
So that...
Hey, if you guys are getting excited about... Because this is now the second pay-per-view in a row with a Brian Pillman match. And you're like, hey, I'm getting into this Brian Pillman.
I like this feud.
Don't get too attached.
So,
nothing happens the day of the next In Your House, does it? Does anything important happen? No.
No, nothing happens.
No, we'll get to that next week.
Yeah. So... At the beginning, there is a reference by Jerry Lawler about Brian Pillman going on hard copy.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, that was a good show.
And like revealing the truth behind his affair with Marlena.
What a great late afternoon, early evening show.
Yeah, or like a couple episodes on a Saturday or Sunday.
Absolutely. Yeah, hard copy, Inside Edition. Y'all remember that?
Inside Edition.
Because it was that's where Bill O'Reilly got to start, was Inside Edition.
Oh,
because We'll Do It Live was Inside Edition.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fucking thing sucks.
Because it was those shows sort of still exist, but not really. Because I was saying it's like a combination between TMZ and Dateline, kind of. It's like between it's some celebrity shit and some crime.
Hard copy.
I guess it's just like a trash news show at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
It's news for dummies.
Hard copy was on from 89 to 99.
Good years. Those are Scott years right there.
Those are Scott years.
Yeah.
And Inside Edition.
I saw my share of hard copy. I'm going to say Inside Edition ran longer than 10 years.
Didn't Inside Edition have...
It had lots of people.
Geraldo Rivera for a while?
He might have made a stop there.
According to this, Inside Edition
Still on the air? Amazing.
There is an episode tonight. On Wednesday, July
last Wednesday.
7th. On the past Wednesday. Definitely not right now. 3,105 episodes.
Good numbers.
It started in 1988.
Predated and post-dated.
Yep.
Hard copy.
And...
Hard copy had the cooler opening, though. I'm going to be honest. I was a little, when I was young, when it was first on, I was a little scared of the hard copy intro because it was so aggressive. Because I think it might have been like a typewriter or like a stamp type thing where like the hard copy was like really like loud and in your face, and it was overstimulating for my small autistic mind. What have you found?
Oh, this is a movie called.
You found Hard Copy the movie. Yeah.
And
it's like
I picked a good one.
And we're right into Charles Manson. Yeah, but that was you found it.
So I like that it's a Charlie Manson profile and then a profile on Latin soap star and actress musician Talia.
Okay, so literally what I said: celebrities and crime.
Yeah. And
ideally celebrities doing crimes.
Inside Edition.
Inside Edition didn't scare me. It was the less scary of the two.
It's more newsy.
Yeah.
Like, it's more of an introduction to news.
Yeah, baby's first news.
Oh, this is like recent Inside Edition.
There is something very weird about seeing follow us on Twitter Inside Edition, because those two things don't coexist for me.
Yeah, this is the Inside Edition I think of.
That logo for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, weird circles.
Weird circles,
like crop circles. That's what they mean.
Was crop circles copyrighted so they couldn't call it that?
And crop dusting.
Of course.
You can't crop dust or crop circles. Okay, so when we were talking about when Goldust came to the ring, he appeared to have painted his face in a very kitty manner.
Yeah, like he kind of had kitty nose. He kind of had some stripes. And I'm like, is he a kitty cat? And you're like, yeah, I think he is. Which comes into play.
He also had some big runs up his ass of his gear. Like his gear had been like worn out.
Yeah, it was like
much.
stockings running.
Yeah, it looked real bad. At one point, Pillman like backs him up to the ropes and proceeds to bite his nose.
However,
but it looks like they're kissing.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, if you're gonna paint yourself up like a kitty cat, people are gonna kiss you.
They're gonna kiss you.
I said I hate to victim blame here, but honestly, this is a classic look at what you were wearing situation.
If you're gonna wear kitty face paint, you're gonna get kissed.
Yeah. Drew, can you attest to this?
I will attest to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the match is a lot of Pillman just being a scumbag. There was a very funny before the match. There was a very funny clip of him running around the ring from Goldust, and as he runs past Marlena, he like sort of reaches out like to
he does like
squeeze her butt.
a fake ass pinch.
But he's way too far from her. But like,
it's like it was a joking attempt at it.
Yeah, he
pretends
funny. Like he really is going to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the match itself is whatever.
It's not bad. They do a big suplex on the ramp.
Considering Pillman only has one working leg.
Yeah, let's give him some credit. The guy can't backstage. Apparently, he can't move.
Yeah, he has to get.
He's like in a wheelchair,
from the change room to the entranceway.
Yeah,
and then he hobbles his way to the ring.
Yeah,
They do a big suplex on the stairs. On the ramp, which like Pillman hits and looks like he doesn't even get hurt because he's so pilled up.
Yeah.
Then
Brian Pillman.
There's a very, very good Goldust from a squatting position.
Oh yeah.
Stands all the way up into an electric chair. And Goldust from full squat to standing is very high.
Yeah.
Not like Pillman's heavy, but that's some good squat right there.
Yeah, it was a good squat.
So eventually Goldust goes for the curtain call. Pillman's arm hits the referee.
Yeah.
Which is a theme of this match and the main event.
Yeah.
Earl takes a bump, and then we just discussed how, in kayfabe terms, Earl Hebner is like the worst referee,
a buffoon,
because he just constantly looks like an idiot. He of all the interference or cheap shots, foreign objects, things that he constantly misses because he's always getting hit and taking forever to get up. He just looks like such a buffoon as a referee.
Yeah.
So Goldust hits the curtain call. Earl's down. He goes to check Earl. Marlena gets up to toss in her clutch bag to Goldust, but Pillman stops her, gets it, clobbers Goldust, gets the pin, and then runs off with Marlena. Jerry Lawler gets the clutch bag off the floor, and he opens it up, and then
brick.
Realizes there's a brick inside, so they were gonna cheat and knock out him. So Pillman grabs her. They run to the back. They immediately get in his car, and then I think Lawler makes some reference to he can hardly wait to celebrate with his trophy or something like that.
Yeah, something cool like that.
He says hardly wait, and then it's 1,000, 1,000. He's just sitting there in the car because Goldust has to run from the ring all the way to the back to get to the car before he pulls away, which he eventually does. So, and then the next match is our first viewing of young Mr. Brian Christopher Lawler, who I guess has had matches between Last in Your House and This in Your House.
I was going to say, the light heavyweight division has gone somewhat downhill.
It's become much whiter.
Between Last in Your House and This in Your House. Last in Your House, Taka Michinoku versus Great Sasuke.
Two Japs
and two, like, Hall of Fame level talents.
I don't know if I would call Taka a Hall
really?
of Fame level
You need to watch more Michinoku Pro, son.
What Hall of Fame are we talking?
Pro wrestling.
We'll see.
We will see.
You and Isaacs.
And we've gone from that 2 months later to Brian Christopher versus Scott Putski, son of a world champion.
A white man and I mean they're both white, but very leathery skin tanned white men.
Scott Putski is an Adonis.
Oh, he's peak level Ultimate Warrior like body.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't remember that.
I always remembered him being like chunkier, but maybe I'm thinking of David Sammartino. Like maybe in my head, but I always imagined him like
sons of 70s world champions.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I kind of remembered him being like short and thick, not thin, like cut.
He looks unbelievable.
he's got a Jesus swimmer's body.
Yeah.
He's sexy Jesus.
If this match had gone differently, what would have happened? Still be world champion now.
Well, they do need to bring back stars from the past.
It's true.
And he's only, it doesn't say on here. I was going to say he's only 40.
He'd be older than 40.
He's in his 50s for sure.
But he was young in 97. So he'd be
55.
55. I was thinking, 50-something.
Is Ivan Putski still alive? No.
He died.
He's 80.
Good for him.
He's still alive. He's Polish.
Oh, really? The Polish Hammer?
His name is Józef Bednarski.
Nice.
That is a Polish name. Where did he live in the 1940s? America? He was born in German-occupied Poland.
That's a place to be born.
But he might not be the kind they were looking for.
No, I think he probably got to live on the good side of town.
5'6"?
Wow.
250 pounds.
That is a build.
And Scott was 5'11", 260.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Same weight, distributed very differently for the two of them. But that is wild that they had a 5'6" world champion.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I'm sure, like, obviously a different time.
I guess that's kind of pre-Giants.
Yeah, and also if
that was more
like
80s.
On television at the time, like, it's not like now where you have full access to like photos and internet and stuff. I'm sure that a lot of it was like the perception of TV, or like, oh, he's like, his opponent is billed as 6'3".
Yeah.
So he's like 5'11" or something.
Yeah, and I think if I remember right, actually, I think Putski always stood on a box when he wrestled.
He's a real Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he cruised
They didn't dig a ditch next to him for his opponent.
They never filmed below his waist. There's some movie magic.
He wrestles.
Did you know Tom Cruise does all his own stunts?
I do. So this is 7/9/97, but before this, 7/14/97, Ivan and Scott Putski versus Brian Christopher and Jerry Lawler
Sick.
on Raw.
I might have to find that.
We're gonna have to look it up after this.
Yeah.
Oh my God! There's also a Taka versus Tajiri.
There is. Yeah, because
same show.
Because it was Canadian Stampede was Taka Suzuki. Next night on Raw, Taka Suzuki again. Then the next week on Raw was Taka Tajiri. It was a nice little run in July.
Interesting. And this is also Dude Love and Steve Austin winning the tag titles. So
that's right.
Well, we're going to have to look up that show.
Yeah, let's look into our July 97 Raws.
But also can't believe that Ivan Putski's still alive.
Good for him.
Last match was...
that one?
No, he wrestled one in 99 for NWA New Jersey.
Nice.
Where he wrestled King Kong Bundy and won by DQ in front of 900 people.
That's a decent amount of people.
Rocco Rock,
for a
Gilbert,
1999 indie.
Nova, Steve Corino, Giant Silva versus Tom Pritchard,
Sick.
Buddy Landell,
The Nature Boy?
Bill Irwin,
The Goon?
and the main event of Stevie Richards and the Pitbulls defeating Buddy Landell, Doug Gilbert, and Tom Brandy.
Nice.
Doug Gilbert and Buddy Landell worked double.
It was a big day.
I guess.
Big day in New Jersey.
I guess. Anyways, Scott Putski could have been, would have been, should have been
The biggest star in wrestling history.
However, in this match, I mean, the match isn't much. The match is essentially just Vince and JR giving Lawler the gears on commentary for Christopher being his son, which Lawler says, no, we just kind of look similar, and that's because we're both handsome.
Yeah.
So the majority
and we have similar physiques.
Similar physiques, yeah. Like the idea is just they're just using this to build up Lawler and Christopher.
Yeah.
They there's not really a lot that goes on. I mean,
Christopher took that sweet bump over the ropes.
Yeah. Christopher has always been good at taking those jump back, like mid back first on the top rope and go to the floor. It's like the very infamous from Royal Rumble 2000 or 2001 where Kane hits him with the garbage can and he does the bounce up, and then it was in video games.
Right.
So, yeah, he's very good at taking silly ass bumps. One thing we did notice in the Pillman Gold Dust match was how little give the ring had when they were taking bumps. Like it was there fucking was one, solid,
and it was a real nice bump too. It was Goldust going for a bulldog and Pillman shoving him off and him landing on his back.
Big back bump.
And there was no bounce to that.
Yeah,
ring.
no bounce whatsoever.
It was a canvas over granite.
It was a granite ring. That they stole it from ancient Greece, where they would have matches on granite and then fuck little boys' thighs.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean the match is nothing. Like you can tell that they're trying to get behind Putski. Like he gets to shine.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he goes to the floor and Christopher goes to do.
Does Christopher do a standing somersault plancha?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he runs. I think he stands.
Yeah, I think he stands. Yeah. Like a slingshot.
Somersault plancha to the floor. And when Putski catches him, his knee kind of pops and bends the wrong way. He goes down. Christopher gets in the ring, and then it's a count out finish.
Yeah, because he's hurt for real.
Because Putski's like shoot hurt, and then we looked. It's the last match he has in the company, WWF, and he doesn't wrestle again for another 6 months. No. What did I say? May? June, maybe?
I think you said May. So, yeah, like 7 months.
Yeah, and he just becomes like a jobber in WCW, and that's it. Sucks for him because like
went anywhere.
He really honestly like looked like $1 million.
He looks like a Vince guy.
Yeah, he looks like a guy that Vince can 100% get behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it was 4 minutes, count out finish, it's whatever. Speaking of whatever, Jesus Christ. So we get the leaders of gang warfare in a triple threat.
Yes.
So you get Savio Vega representing the Los Boricuas.
Do they at some point do like the 4-on-4 match?
There is a gang warfare at some point. I just don't remember when it is.
Yeah,
I know for sure.
It seems like it should be at Survivor Series, but I'm almost positive it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it is. But let me. No, I don't want IW or WWC. Get out of here, WWC. They did Los Boricuas for a lot after WWF.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, that works. That's kind of evergreen in Puerto Rico. You can just do that forever. Okay. Although, is it even a gimmick? Like, because their gimmick is that they're Puerto Rican.
No.
So how does that even work in Puerto Rico?
I guess their faces?
Everyone's Puerto Rican.
They're baby
faces.
They're
the best Puerto Ricans. Yeah. They're the best at being Puerto Rican.
Yes. Okay.
They wear the ribbon during the parade.
You wear the ribbon.
Who would not wear the ribbon?
Who would not wear the ribbon? Scott, I'm gonna say no.
They never did it.
No, it doesn't look like they did.
That's so stupid.
Like there are several like there are several matches that involve members from all the teams. So there's like,
but there's never 4-on-4.
There's like there's 4-on-4s.
Yeah,
there's three
of two of the factions.
There's 3-on-3s.
Yeah, and there's a triple threat with one of each of the three.
Yeah,
but they never do.
So in your the next in your house we get 4-on-4. We get DOA and the Briquas.
Okay.
Then the in your house after that at 19 we get 3-on-3 of Briquas and DOA.
Okay.
So I guess at some point they just take the nation out and it's just Puerto Ricans versus neo-Nazis.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I guess.
That is so stupid they never did it though.
I mean, you're telling me. So they kind of feud all the way until
I mean, some would say the Puerto Ricans and neo-Nazis are feuding to this day.
Yes. So the last interaction between the two is in April 98.
Okay.
So it goes all the way till then, but it kind of looks like it's just DOA and the Briquas. It's not the last sort of involvement of the nation.
Nation had bigger fish to fry.
And they really did. They got everything handed to them, while these two shit teams with only like one good worker. No, the Puerto Ricans are all good.
I was trying to pick the one on each.
No, I was implying one.
8-Ball.
Okay. One of the Harris brothers.
Jesus Castillo.
I think
is the one good one on
all
each.
4 Bariquas are good.
Yes.
None of the DOA are good.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah.
I believe your assessment is accurate.
It would appear, as far as television goes, there is no formal Los Boricuas versus Nation.
Ever.
No.
Wow.
There might be singles or non-televised stuff, but there is literally no match that says Los Boricuas versus the Nation or versus Nation or whatever.
Huh.
So they obviously just changed their minds to, okay, blacks have something more important to do. The Latinos and the whites, you can feud.
Yeah. And it will go nowhere.
So Savio Vega versus Crush versus Farouk. The match sucked. It was very boring other than a couple of good things. For whatever reason, Farouk decided to do a go high flying, which is not something you are very
don't see a lot of Farouk off the top rope.
There was a hilarious Savio goes for a swinging neck breaker. He turns the right way, and Farouk decides to rotate the other way.
It was so counterintuitive too, because when a guy grabs you for a swinging neck breaker, just swing the way he's going. Let the the other guy is initiating it. Just go with the momentum. It's like gay sex.
Yeah.
If the other guy's starting, just go with what the other guy's doing. Farouk's the bottom in this situation.
He's a bad bottom.
He's a bad bottom. Yeah, so he's throwing off the rhythm. He's pumping syncopated with where the other guy's pumping. Nothing's working. Yeah, he spins the absolute wrong way. It looks
awful.
Retarded.
Yeah, it looks
and
terrible.
the crowd lets them have it.
Oh, the crowd absolutely hates them.
They knew what they saw.
Yeah, they are booing the colors in this match. Then there is maybe our favorite part of the match, which is Crush and Savio decide they want to work together.
Yep.
So Crush gets Farouk up for a pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to do a spike Crush pile driver, and it looks awful.
Because Crush was doing the pile driver.
Because Crush is doing a pile driver.
And even though he does a pile driver every match, it's always bad.
He's never done even an acceptable pile driver.
No.
He's
bad every time.
He always
goes sideways.
Goes sideways on his thigh and hip.
Yeah.
And their head is 10 feet off the ground. Or they're bent up sort of, so it's their shoulders are hitting the mat. Mm-hmm. It looks awful. He's never done a good one.
But god damn it, he likes doing them.
He loves it. And the finish is Crush hits the heart punch on Farouk. Savio runs in and hits him with a spinning heel kick, and he pins Crush.
AKA the finish to every three-way.
The finish to every three-way or almost every Owen Hart and Bulldog tag match.
A spinning heel kick,
yes. A spinning heel kick. Especially if you're Billy Gunn, because that was his kryptonite.
Absolutely.
Next is an excellent treat of minis.
Yes.
So we get El Torito, not that El Torito for anyone who's aware.
Fat El Torito.
Former Mini Vader.
Mini Vader. I think future Mini Vader.
Future Mini Vader. Yeah. Against Max Mini.
Yeah.
Masquerade Sagrada Jr.
Yeah. It was great.
And if you are not like, I know a lot of people that listen because they enjoy Scott and I saying inappropriate and racist and sexist and slightly homosexual things on this podcast.
And purring.
And purrs. And also me talking really directly into the microphone so that Scott can't hear what I'm saying. So we know our market, right? And there's a lot of you that don't give a fuck about wrestling or don't like wrestling. I think that...
Check this out.
I think you should do yourself a favor and watch this mini match.
It's fun as shit.
It is even if you don't like wrestling or you don't get wrestling,
you'll like the acrobatics.
This isn't like wrestling.
Yeah.
This is all about just like... It's like watching Cirque du Soleil, but with little people.
Yeah, this is wrestling for non-wrestling fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you'll watch it and you'll think it's really cool that they could do that.
Yeah.
Granted, they, like, Max Mini weighs, they claimed 85 pounds.
Too high!
But yeah, he's like...
Too high!
He's like 55 pounds.
Because it wasn't...
He's like 3'7".
Wasn't Torito announced at like 110 or something? I'm like,
yeah,
he's double the size.
Yeah.
Like, Max Mini is 50 pounds.
He's 55 pounds, and because he's 3'7".
He's a baby.
3'7" and 85 pounds is a goddamn chode.
Look, I tell a lot of people that I'm baby. He's baby.
He's baby.
Max Mini is baby.
Is he bae?
He's bae.
Max Mini is bae. But yeah, I think if you're not a wrestling fan at all, and you hate the acting and the storytelling and like you think it's stupid, that this match is actually for you because it's just about like the athletics and
it's just fun.
It's really fun. Like, go out of your way to watch Max Mini versus El Torito.
Yeah,
it is great.
In your house, Ground Zero, September 1997.
Yeah, do it. Or you're off the podcast.
Yeah, how about that? How about that, guys? How about you do the work this time?
Yeah. Why is it always on us?
Yeah.
Why
you go watch this.
Why is it always got to be the black man?
Yeah. Get yourself.
It's up to you to decide which one of us is black.
The Peacock.
To be fair, Scott is from India. And I'm from Afghanistan.
Not accurate, but we are both part black.
Correct.
We're both black.
We're both black.
We're both white.
We're both Arab.
I was going a different way.
We're black and white Arabs?
I was going literal colors.
Oh.
We're both black, we're both white, and then I got some orange and you got some gray.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless you look at that.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, the match is really fun.
And a little bit of pink.
And a little bit of pink.
Where it counts.
I got a pink and a stink. So right when the match starts, somebody in the crowd unfolds a three layered sign that says HBK. So the first line says HBK.
Yeah.
The second line says sucks.
SUX.
SUX. And the bottom line says DIX.
Yeah.
HBK sucks dicks.
It is
it is the correct spelling
of sucks dicks.
Yeah, it is. You sell. What is it?
ISUXDIX?
ISDUX.
I sell you Xerox digital interface Xerox, or I sure xylophone do I xylophone.
Somebody was on our shit well before we were even
this
aware.
Predates
aware that each other existed.
This predates our I Sucks Dicks by 13 years, and where we stole it from, which was the Zach Galifianakis special, which I think is around 2006. So this even predates that by 9 years.
Maybe it was Zach in the audience.
Maybe Zach. Maybe it was Zach's sign. Maybe Zach has been on the sucks dicks train since day one. Since he was in Out Cold or earlier.
Out Cold. Good reference.
Or since he was on Boston Public.
Boston Public. I remember watching Boston Public and thinking, I'm too young for this.
This is a grown-up show.
This is more of a young adult show.
This is a grown-up show, and I'm baby.
And I'm a little child.
Yeah.
All I remember is Michael Rappaport and Five-ish Finkel. The greatest name in the history of anything.
Chi McBride?
Chi McBride.
Yeah.
And some lady.
Yeah, I assume there had to be a bitch on the show.
I don't remember her name. The heavier set woman from Boston Legal. I don't know. Can you pull her name?
Character actress Margot Martindale?
No.
Kathy Bates.
No.
Kathy Lee Bates.
That's not who I'm thinking
Kathy
of.
Lee Gifford. Hoda
Boston
Kotb.
Public. 4 seasons. A David E. Kelly jam.
Of course it was.
Oh, Chris Evans.
Oh, young.
No, Loretta Devine is the woman, but that's not who I was thinking of.
You're thinking of the white
Jerry
woman.
Ryan, Nikki Cat, Rashida Jones.
Her name is just Nikki Cat?
A
What?
guy. It's
Who's,
a guy.
Bring him up.
Nikki Cat. You've probably seen him in shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like Zachary Quinto's dad.
His straight dad, because Zachary Quinto's gay.
Straight dad.
Not his
yeah,
not
not
his
his
daddy.
gay dad.
Not his daddy.
Yeah.
Tom McCarthy, Academy Award
Academy
nominee.
Award winner. If he also produced.
Oh, he did
Spotlight?
Spotlight. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So he's won an Oscar, correct? And he's probably been nominated for more because he does a bunch of stuff. Nominee for Spotlight for Achievement in Directing. Nominee for Best Writer of an Original Screenplay for Up.
And nominee for Best Picture of All Time for Adam Sandler's The Cobbler.
We should watch that.
No.
I bet you it's good.
Didn't we try and stopped?
No, I don't think so. There's still time.
I guess there is still time.
Boston Legal. Who's the heavyset lady? Oh, it's not Boston Legal. It's something else I'm thinking of.
You don't know what you're doing.
I don't know. All those shows, like, I didn't watch any
Boston
of them.
Legal is just Spader and Shatner. That's it.
I didn't watch any of them, so they all kind of blend together in my head. Name another thing that was had lawyers around that time.
The Practice.
That's maybe what I'm thinking of.
We're talking Dylan McDermott. Oops. We're talking Cameron Manheim.
Sorry for bumping the microphone.
We're talking.
Name one more.
A third person on The Practice? You're killing me.
Kelly Williams,
Nope.
Steve Harris, Laura Flynn Boyle. Cameron Manheim was who I was thinking of.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
We got there. I know her as Toby from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Fuck off, Toby.
Michael Badalucco.
I know Mike. What do you picture Michael Badalucco in? I got one thing for him.
Him being a scumbag Italian in something.
Yes.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? He's the babyface killer in Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Not my first pull for him, though. He's Berkowitz in Summer of Sam.
Oh my God!
That's how I picture him, being yelled at by a dog.
Except for he didn't do it.
The dog did it.
Yeah, the dog did it.
Everyone knows Berkowitz was set up, and the dog did it.
Son of Sam.
Yeah.
Is that movie good? I think that movie's good, isn't it?
I think it is good.
It's a Spike Lee joint.
I know 3 things about it. I know the opening song is The Legend of Baba O'Reilly by The Who, which I like.
Yeah.
I know it's by Spike Lee, and I know that a dog yells at Michael Badalucco, and that's it.
Yes.
In my head, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
In my head, it's a non-shitty Spike Lee movie.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, because what year is it? It's like 99? This was me discovering Jennifer Esposito as a teenage boy, and that led to a lot of things.
A good thing to discover.
A lot of things happened.
Things happened.
Anyways, back to the pay-per-view. So at one point, Max Mini ends up going to the floor. He runs over and jumps on Jerry Lawler's lap.
Yep.
And he takes Jerry Lawler's crown and puts it on his head. And Lawler, like, full on, like, cold cocks his hand back. And he's going to punch this baby. LP in the face until Vince, like, hooks his arm and is like, under no circumstances am I going to allow you to do that, is what Vince says. And so JR from the other side of the commentary booth says, hey, Jerry, why don't you just pretend that was Brian when he was young?
Very funny.
And then Lawler, like, gets kind of fed up with JR making Brian Christopher references. They did seem to maybe blow the finish. We're not really sure.
The finish seemed odd because it was building up. They did like a big, cool leaping off the top rope Rana.
Yeah.
And then like jumped into a victory roll.
Yeah.
Max Mini on Torito, but then like Torito just like rolled straight through the victory roll up to his feet. Then there
was a second.
They kind of looked at each other,
and then he stomped him.
And then it was just like stomp, whip off the ropes,
sunset
flip finish, which was an odd finish considering they did many more spectacular things before.
Yeah, it was a weird setup for sure, but I mean, it doesn't take away from the rest.
Still
of
fun
the
as
match.
fuck.
Yeah, like you might have not even noticed it if we hadn't said anything.
Maybe you still won't. Maybe you're stupid.
Maybe you won't even watch it because you don't care about what we're talking about.
You should watch it.
You should watch it, though. So
it's on Peacock.
Next, we get the...
It's on Peacock or the internet.
Yeah. Or it's edited on Peacock and you only get to see 2 matches. So next, they show from SummerSlam of Owen Hart doing the worst tombstone in the history of wrestling and crippling Steve Austin.
Oh boy.
So JR's in the ring with Sergeant Slaughter. Out comes Dude Love. Dude Love says that he could just defend the tag titles, but the only reason he's got the tag titles is because of Steve Austin. And
I forgot Paralyzed Austin had 2 titles.
Yeah.
Because in the match where he got paralyzed, he still won the Intercontinental title. And was already...
And was the tag champs.
Tag team champions.
So Dude Love says that with a heavy heart and a pained pancreas...
Very funny.
He will be forfeiting the titles.
It's almost like Mick Foley's good at talking.
It's almost like he's the best. So then Austin's music hits. He comes down and he is furious.
He looks all right for a broken neck.
Yeah. Well, we looked it up. He was only out for what, 3 months? Not even
3 months.
Yeah, with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah.
So Austin comes out and he is hella fucking mean to JR and Vince. He flips off JR. He calls him a fat ass.
He's so mean.
Then he leans over the top rope and tells Vince to wipe that stupid smile off his face, or he'll come out there and shove his foot up his ass. He's just super fucking mean to everybody.
Because, yes, Steve Austin's a badass.
Yeah,
but he was he's fully a babyface at this point. He's a badass babyface, but he's a babyface. But he was just mean to Jim Ross is a babyface too,
and Vince is kind of too.
And yeah,
Vince isn't a heel,
and Slaughter's the commissioner and a good guy commissioner.
Yeah.
And Austin was just an asshole.
Just super fucking mean. So he puts the belt down for Slaughter to pick up, and he
doesn't hand it to him. Yeah. He makes him pick it up.
And then he jaw jacks
like a dick
Slaughter the whole way out of the ring. Then Dude Love gets out of the way, and then that's when he yells at JR and calls him a fat ass.
Yep.
JR on the microphone says that the fans are behind him and they can't wait for him to get better and they want to see him back. And he goes, and then Stone Cold grabs the microphone and says, "Is that right? Well, how about this? Bam, stunner." Then he jaw jacks JR a bit, and then Dude Love sort of gets down to help. And then in comes the everybody from back. Jerry Briscoe comes in. Does he? I guess he doesn't hit anybody else, right?
No.
He sort of just jaw jacks with people and gets out of the ring.
Yeah.
So
Ross got the brunt.
Yeah. Poor JR.
Poor JR.
So what the ultimate conclusion was is that they forfeited the tag titles. So now we're going to have a fatal 4-way elimination match for the tag titles. So the teams are for us, the first time we're seeing the Headbangers, then the Godwins, and how do we know if they're good or bad?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not wearing shirts.
Well, I'd say the answer is typically shirts.
The former champions, Bulldog and Owen Hart, and the Legion of Doom. So again, this match is kind of nothing. Nothing of note really happens other than one thing. Yeah, so it's elimination. It's a very basic tag match. Nothing really happens. There's a lot of just aggressive tags in and out.
Yeah, it's just there.
One guy at one point Hawk goes over and just full on chops the Bulldog, and then when Bulldog gets angry, he goes I'm just making a tag.
Yeah.
I'm just making a tag. So it's just a bunch of that. There's a bunch of groundwork. There isn't really even any hot tags.
Not really.
It's just, and then eventually what ends up happening is the referee gets distracted by Owen and Bulldog. Henry goes outside to get his slop bucket.
Yeah.
Hawk cuts him off, or Animal cuts him off, gets the bucket, hammers Phineas with it. The referee sees it and disqualifies them. Then Hawk takes it, clobbers Henry, and then while Henry and Phineas are on the ground, just gives them the most love-tappy,
silliest.
Boop, 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 boop. Lance Storm levels of chair shots, but with a bucket. Really trying to not make any severe contact.
It's the safest bucket attack I've ever seen.
So they're eliminated by disqualification. Pretty quickly after that, the Headbangers eliminate the Godwins.
Yeah.
Just with like a sunset flip and
Because Sunset Flip is a death finisher, apparently.
Yeah. So not much. And then once it gets down to Owen and Bulldog versus the Headbangers, it gets a little better.
Yeah.
Like there is more structure of a match. But at one point, Bulldog and I think Thrasher, because they go to set up Glenn Ruth. They go to set up the stage dive, and the referee tries to get Thrasher down because he's not the legal man. Bulldog nuts him on the top rope. They get in the ring. They brawl the outside. Owen hits. Maybe he hits a. No, it isn't a heel kick. He hits something on.
You want him to hit.
They want him to hit it. But as he
he does hit a heel kick on Bulldog. Bulldog's holding the guy.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And Owen hits him.
Thrasher gets dumped to the floor. Oh, Bulldog's hitting Mosh. Mosh ducks, gets the spinning heel kick.
Yep.
He goes to the floor. The referee's distracted by them getting thrown to the floor, which then Austin, broken neck and all, runs.
Well, we thought they were going to do the stage dive. But then Bulldog stopped.
That's what I said. Bulldog crotched him. Yeah. Thrasher got thrown to the floor.
Yeah.
Austin runs with a broken freaking neck.
Yep.
Runs to the ring. Hits a stunner on Owen. Immediate rolls out of the ring. And Mosh gets the pin. And
champs.
The Headbangers win the tag titles.
Yeah.
So... And then Austin on the way back up is jaw-jacking. Like, that's one. That's one. So I don't know if that means, like, he cost them the tag titles because he... I don't know. Anyways, the match is whatever. Something I don't think I ever appreciated is how good the names Mosh and Thrasher are.
Good names.
Like, they really are good names.
Those are good names for the Headbangers.
Yeah. Much like Henry O. Godwin and Phineas I. Godwin. Yeah. And Fatty A. Godwin.
They were on a real run of good individually named tag team members in the mid-90s.
Really good. Not so much Skip and Zip. Those are pretty gay.
The exception that proves the rule.
Yeah. So next we get this big building promo package of the debut of the recently debuted The Patriot, but they constantly refer to him as his real name.
Recently debuted and whose career is going to be over in 1 month.
In 1 month. So they talk about Del Wilkes, R.I.P., who died a few weeks ago.
Yeah, whose heart exploded a couple weeks ago.
They talked about him being a Heisman Trophy runner-up and a college football superstar. They interview the guy who won the Heisman,
1980,
and talking about Del. Then they talk about him going from football to wrestling.
They interviewed Jerry Sandusky.
They talked to Jerry Sandusky.
So they had some horseplay.
They horseplayed around in the locker room. He did some video footage for him.
They interviewed Joe Paterno. He had no comments.
Joe Pa. Then they surprisingly reference him wrestling in All Japan.
And showed
him wrestling in All Japan.
They showed it. Him and Kenta Kobashi against Gary Albright and Sabu.
Sabubu.
Sick team,
for sure. But yeah, kind of a weird thing. I wouldn't imagine them doing it now. No. Maybe.
They were friendly with All Japan then.
Yeah.
Because the new Blackjacks work the tag league this December.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So yeah, they were friendly.
You let us show some footage, and you can have a jobber tag team. We have, huh? All right.
You can have a former and future world champion.
Yes.
How do you like that?
I don't.
I don't.
I hate it.
Not one bit.
I hate it.
And they have mustaches.
They do have mustaches, and one of them is fat. Yeah. And one of them is going to be fat for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
So they're building up the Patriot as the challenger for Bret Hart for the title. Again, this match is kind of boring. It's got 3.25 stars on for the Observer, but I feel like the more I watch old Bret Hart, the more I think I kind of don't like Bret Hart.
I think Bret Hart might have been bored.
I think he's boring.
I think Bret Hart's good matches are against exciting people.
Yeah, bloody.
if he's not with an exciting person, it's very boring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess my tastes have changed as an adult. Like, getting older, you realize more of, like...
Yeah.
Like,
you used to, like, when you're a kid, you like sound technical wrestling.
For sure.
Now that you're an adult, you like midgets.
I do love midgets. Yeah, boy, our son's a midget.
I'm a midget. No, you're not, Matthew McConaughey. That was a weird thing to say.
You had a circle jerk with midgets? I would love to have seen that. Weird. What a weird movie.
A drama.
Tiptoes, everybody.
Check out Tiptoes.
And the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
He literally does Kermit the Frog. So again, yeah, this match is nothing. I wrote Brett is boring.
Brett is boring.
It's
argument.
It's really just a lot of technical stuff. I mean, at one point, like, the Patriots' big comeback is just arm drags.
Yep.
He just hits like 4 or 5 arm drags.
Some arm drags.
And Brett's just working like leg work and stuff. Like
this match is basic.
It's a basic bitch.
Yeah.
Basic
this really
bitch
is the
match.
basic bitch of matches.
So at one point, Bulldog comes down to be in Brett's corner because, of course, he's anti-patriot. He's British, and they don't like the Americans because they fought back against them and won. Mm-hmm. So he causes
also happy 4th of July, everyone.
He causes a distraction, and Bulldog backs up the ramp, and the Patriot comes out and sort of stares him down up the rampway, and out comes Babyface Vader.
Yep.
Babyface Vader comes out and beats the shit out of the Bulldog, and
Good
they fight
guy,
all the way to the back because they're going to have a flag match next month.
A what match?
A flag.
Oh, sorry.
FL, not F.
I did not hear the L, but that's
I
on,
also didn't
that's
read
on me.
it with an L.
Fair enough.
So
we'll call that a no blame accident.
For a moment, we had forgotten that the Patriots' finishing move was called the Uncle Slam,
which rocks,
which rules. So he had hit one previous to Bulldog interference. He then goes up top and hits the Patriot missile,
which I did remember the name of,
which is great,
and was excited about.
The names of his moves are pretty rad.
I mean, Uncle Slam and Patriot Missile,
yeah,
good names.
It writes itself.
Yeah.
So he eventually hits a second Uncle Slam, and Brett manages to get his leg on the rope. So then he decides, well, if I can't beat him with my finishing move,
beat him with fucking his.
I'm going to beat him with his. So he puts him in the sharpshooter, and it's maybe the best sharpshooter a non-Heart or non-Sting has ever done.
It's good. It looks like a textbook sharpshooter,
and
which
like I said,
kind of made us think that maybe the sharpshooter isn't as hard to put on as a lot of other wrestlers make it look.
Yeah, like I said, is that I think the reason it always looks bad is because they rush to get it on and step over. Nobody actually takes the time to get the legs right and then step over.
Like, The Rock never did a good sharpshooter in his life.
And then The Rock always looked like he was tapping out.
Yeah.
Like, his facials were like
it hurt him. It hurt him to
tapping
do it.
out to his own submission.
Yeah.
So Brett manages to knock him over while holding the legs. He stands up into the sharpshooter. Patriot fights towards the ropes, and then I assume was supposed to pass out.
Yeah, I think it's a ref stoppage.
But the referee went to the bell too quickly.
Yeah.
So it just looked like the referee was like, "No, he's had enough. He's done." Bing, 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 bing.
I don't think the Patriot quit.
No, it didn't look like he quit, and it also didn't look like he had passed out yet. So. Yeah. Anyways, Brett retains. Whatever. Bye, Patriot. I hope you don't enjoy your career being over in a month.
When he tears his tricep?
His tricep, yeah. In the match on the next pay-per-view. On the next In Your House.
All right. And then, works one more match. And then he's like, oh, I guess my career's over.
Yeah. So the main event is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. This, of course, is the start. Kind of the start and almost end of their feud. Because they do next pay-per-view, and then it's immediately into Kane and Taker.
Yes.
So it was kind of a 3-month mini.
It was kind of from the right after SummerSlam, because he accidentally fucked him to October. Yeah, so it's like 3 months.
2-3 months of a storyline just to get to Kane.
Because then it goes to Shawn, Brett, and Taker Kane.
Yeah. So the match starts pretty fast. It's Taker just kicking.
I'm intrigued for next month because it has been a while since I've seen Hell in a Cell, and I'm wondering if it is 5 stars.
I mean, I've seen
it.
him, Mankind, 30 times.
Sure.
I've seen Shawn Taker once, maybe twice.
Me too.
So it's going to be interesting to see, like,
Yeah,
does it hold up knowing there is another one that's more brutal?
More brutal for sure. I think this one's more of a wrestling match, though.
Yeah. But I think this is, if I remember correctly, it's mostly Taker kicking Shawn's ass.
I believe so.
Like, it's almost 90% Taker.
Yeah, I think it's Shawn winning and Taker getting everything up to that
point. Yeah. And then all I remember is, like, shoulder launching Shawn into the fence.
Yeah, the table bump.
The table bump.
It's got to be Kane.
Obviously, it's got to be Kane. Shades of his brother, The Undertaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts off with like tons of brawling. It starts out with Rick Rude sort of getting involved, and the referee goes to throw Rude out immediately. So as Shawn and Rick Rude are on the floor, and Rude is going to leave, Taker tries to pick up the referee and throw him onto Shawn.
Yeah.
And he struggles to get the ref up and then throws him over the top. And in my head, I'm like, if I'm a referee, the last person I want catching me on a forced dive is Shawn Michaels.
Is 1997 junkie Shawn
the
Michaels.
most selfish asshole that's around.
Not good.
I mean, he catches him fine.
It's fine.
So Taker gets out of the ring, chases him up the rampway. Shawn tries to get through the door of the set, but it won't open. He then gives him a back body drop on the entranceway, and Shawn takes kind of a hard bump.
Yes.
On the top.
He gives him a gorilla press.
Oh, gorilla press, yeah.
Like
right
press. At the entrance.
Yeah.
And just a
real hard
back bump on.
His legs smack really hard.
Just like the metal. Yeah.
They eventually fight all the way back down to the ring. The majority of it is honestly just Undertaker kicking Shawn's ass. They get back in the ring. Shawn gets like 1 or 2 cheap shots on him to get some offense. He ends up crotching him, doing the current school, I guess, not the old school.
Of course.
The rope walk. So he crotches him on that. Then he does springboard over the top. Undertaker catches him, rams him his back into the or the ring post a few times.
Yeah.
Throws him back in the ring. Then Undertaker just beats the shit out of him. Eventually he goes for...
Considering he wins neither of the 2 matches, Undertaker takes 90% of this feud.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that's it's to build up Undertaker versus Kane, and also to make Shawn look like a bitch ass heel.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it works great. It honestly works great.
It makes sense. Yeah.
So the first referee bump.
Oh, how many?
There's 4 ref bumps.
Jesus.
I wrote it down as 4 ref bumps.
There's so many.
So the first ref bump.
Is that even counting the stuff before the bell ring, like throwing the ref
No,
at
I
Shawn?
didn't count.
Okay, so those were bonuses.
Yeah, that was a bonus because it was before the match.
Okay.
So the first one is Undertaker gets shoved in. No. Yeah, Undertaker gets shoved into the ref.
Yeah, I think
ref
so.
Takes a bump. So he hits a choke slam. And then he realizes the ref is down.
Yeah.
So then Shawn gets a couple cheap shots on him, and then he gets thrown to the floor. And when he gets thrown to the floor, out comes Earl. And Shawn is telling Earl to disqualify The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going to. And so as Earl gets back in the ring and stops Undertaker from coming out, Shawn comes in, gets a cheap shot on him. Then when he gets Undertaker down, and he goes to do... Is that when he hits the elbows?
I think so.
Hits the elbows, and then Earl gets bopped.
Yeah.
So Shawn helps Earl up, and then just decides to pop him one.
Yeah, just fuck
for the sake of popping him. Then he...
You took too long, Earl.
Then I think... actually, maybe not. I mean, it's all... I should have written it down.
It's a blur.
It's a blur because it's all bad. So then I think Shawn hits the 2 elbow drops. And that's when Chyna and Triple H run down with the new ref. Throw the new ref in the ring.
Right.
1-2 kick out. Then Shawn clobbers the ref.
Yeah, the second one might have been Taker punching the ref.
I think Taker punches this ref when he gets back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what happens.
All right.
And Shawn definitely at one point throws Earl face first into the turnbuckle. So then we get that ref bump. Then down comes Tim White, and Tim White is like, "Yeah, I'm fucking done.
Okay,
I'm not bumping. You've beat up 4 referees. I'm done."
Yeah.
So Tim White rings the bell. It's a no contest. So Hunter gets in the ring. Undertaker starts beating up Hunter, and then Shawn gets involved, so it's 2-on-1. At one point,
oh man,
the best part is, so Shawn and Hunter are both up. Taker gets Hunter up.
Sean
for
is
the
supposed to
tombstone.
be preoccupied elsewhere, maybe being held back by other refs or people or
Yeah,
whatever.
or something. So,
Undertaker is in the process of tombstoning Triple H. However, Sean is not very preoccupied.
yeah, Sean makes full eye contact with the Undertaker.
Like touches them. He touches
he
Hunter
sort of,
while
like,
he's in a standing 69.
Yeah.
And then just leaves.
and then sort of backs away.
And he's like, well, Taker's got to hit this tombstone, so I got to get out
The
of here.
tombstone that Taker does is very sloppy.
Well, yeah,
Like,
because
he
he's
just
like,
lets
Sean's
go
right
of Hunter. Yeah. So anyways, so they start brawling some more. Out comes the referees. Tony Garea gets hit.
Tony Garea, I believe, takes a chin music to the tummy.
To the tummy.
Yep.
Then Jerry Briscoe takes like maybe just a big punch, but he takes like a big Jim Cornette-esque like jumping back bump.
And then
which
someone
looked really good.
someone we didn't see took a real chin music on the apron.
Yes, whoever it was.
Yeah.
Maybe another one of the agents or something.
Yeah.
Or ref, whoever. So then out comes all the baby faces and out come all the
But
heels.
also, and also some heels, yeah.
To separate each other. So a very stylish looking Rock gets in the ring and realizes he's I'm a heel, I should be outside. So he gets out of the ring.
Yeah.
So the baby faces do a bad job of holding back Undertaker,
Yeah.
who then decides to do the old Taker dive over the top, except for only really Kama catches him and sort of Phineas.
For how many people were there, it was not a good catch.
Yeah,
like there's been much uglier catches, like 1-on-1 or even
Yes.
1-on-2. But considering there were 10 people catching, it was not a good catch.
They stopped his momentum.
Yeah,
so
like he
didn't-
was safe.
So he didn't just go splat to the floor.
Yeah.
but he ended up falling through a crack.
I bet he was expecting more cushion.
Good
for the
thing.
pushing.
Thank God for his BSK brother protecting his life. He owes his whole life to the Godfather or a Kama, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, BSK baby. Bone Street Crew.
That's true.
So yeah, that's
Watch out for each other.
That's In Your House 17. Not a good show by any means.
No.
Very very bad. Other than the mini match.
So next month we've got a mini tag and Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
So it's not going to be a bad show.
It's also got
Probably got some bullshit.
It's got
too.
a 3-on-2 handicap match. It's got that. It's got a tag title match. It's got the finals of the vacant Intercontinental title tournament.
It's probably okay.
It's got a bad 8-man tag.
Certainly.
And then a flag match. Flag. And then, on cage match, Shawn and Taker is 9.54.
That's very high.
And it's Wrestling Observer 5, so.
Yeah, the last WWF 5-star match for 14 years.
14 fucking years.
So it's probably good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to go down that route.
I will, thank you.
I'm just gonna check your math here for a second. Not that I don't trust you.
Oh, if I'm missing a 5-star? I think I'm not.
Not that I'm
confident
not that I
I'm
don't
not.
trust you. But Shawn, Undertaker, Brent Austin, and that's your math is correct, sir.
Excellent.
And since then, Jesus Christ, so 2011.
I mean, there's been a million NXT.
But like 2011, this makes me angry. Because like
Go off, Queen.
I don't know, Shawn Hunter Benoit,
Shawn Hunter Benoit. Benoit Angle.
Kurt Shawn.
Kurt Shawn. Yep.
I don't know. Just makes me angry. And then the majority of the ones since then, NXT.
No main roster.
The only main roster is Punk Cena.
Wow, since 1997.
Since 1997.
That's pretty wild.
Dragunov Walter, O'Reilly and Strong versus Seven and Bate, Gargano
Yep.
Ciampa, the ladder match with all the Lars Sullivans,
2 Gargano Coles.
Almost Gargano,
Almost Gargano.
Bate Walter, and 2 Cole and Garganos.
Yeah. Wowzers.
And I lied. Bate Walter is 4 1/4. Cole Gargano is 4 1/4. And Cole Gargano is 5 1/4. 5 1/4.
Yes.
5 1/2.
Yeah. P.S. Too high for Bate Walter.
I think too high for all of
Probably
them.
too high for all of them, but because I remember we watched Bate Walter, I'm like, this is very good. It's also too long.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's over 40 minutes, I think.
It's too long.
Yeah,
As far as,
it's good, but
like it's really funny. You look at by date,
yeah.
and they're just like all these gaps that have no rating, like
Yeah.
at all.
Who's got the time?
I mean, Meltzer's got the time.
Apparently not.
It just means
because otherwise they'd have ratings.
Well, but he doesn't rate things that are bad, and the majority of these WWF things are bad.
Bad.
Like
That's true.
I can't think of one of these that isn't bad. So like
It is how it goes.
5-star by date. Oh, that's 6 stars. God damn it.
Sorting by. Show me all the 6-star matches.
All the 6 stars. So even in the history of the WWF,
I think history, you've got what? You got Sean Razor ladder.
13 in total.
Yeah.
So Sean Razor, Bret Owen,
Cage, which is not even the best Bret Owen match that year.
No, but it's still good.
It's good,
Maybe not
but
5 stars. Yeah.
It's not.
Bret Austin and Shawn Taker.
So
and then 20, and then Punk and Cena, and there isn't one again until January 2018 of Andrade and Gargano.
And then since then, there's 8.
And then after that, there's 8.
Wow. Way to go, NXT. Way to go, NXT. Way not to go main roster. 10 years and counting since the last 5-star match.
Yeah, I bet that honestly.
Oh, sorry. They've still got, even as of this air date, I don't know, like a week to get in the 5-star match to beat the 10-year curse.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that was what? I'm going to say July 17th, 2011.
I'm already off it, so I couldn't even tell you.
You could press back twice and it would...
No, because I've gone through, like, I'm on to WCW. And
you've got a lot going on. You've been very
by
busy.
date and stuff, and... Yeah.
Fair. Anyway, guys, I think you got a week, WWE. See what you can do. See if you can do a 5-star match on Raw next week.
Deal.
Or tonight. Do it tonight. Monday night.
The Monday night. I believe the matches tonight that I know of are Ivar versus Omos and Eric versus AJ. So one of you have a good match.
One of you do it. Come on.
One of you have a 5-star match. I dare you. Dare you. Anyways.
And probably, I don't know, Jackson Riker versus Elias or some bullshit?
Maybe. Or I believe there was a tag match. I believe it's Jackson Riker being teamed with R-Truth to make him more sympathetic.
That's right. Against Elias and
Cedric
Alexander?
Sure. Why not?
And New Day versus Lashley and is MVP wrestling?
Yeah.
Can he wrestle?
Yeah, he's back.
All right, good for him.
Yeah.
So, that seems probably 3 or 4 5-star matches.
Probably 10 5-star matches.
Time to break the 10-year itch.
Why don't you tell me the name of the movie you'd like to see?
Why don't you just tell me the name of the movie? Anyway, that seems like plenty. Secret letter is D.
For D's,
Don't forget
for
it.
D's nuts.
For D's nuts. Now get out of here.
See ya!